Do you want to know how to invest in Trump's trade war economy? Everyone's focused on tariffs. No one is talking about Trump's plans for the US dollar. To understand what might happen next, you have to understand what his top advisor is thinking. Stephen Miran is Trump's chief economic advisor. He's a hedge fund strategist and a former senior advisor to the US Treasury. He's also got a PhD from Harvard. And yes, his advisor was actually one of my professors. So when I say I can decode what he's saying, I'm not guessing. This is what Trump's team wants to change about the dollar and what you should do with your money. Miran says America's biggest problem in trade is actually the US dollar. Right now, it's the world's reserve currency. And here's what that means. Imagine you and your friends love trading Pokemon cards. Now, let's say everyone agrees that Pikachu cards are the most valuable and trusted. Even if you don't collect Pikachu cards yourself, you still want to have some because you know everyone else will accept them in a trade. That's what the US dollar is in the world economy. Countries trade oil, pay debts, and buy stuff using US dollars, even if they're not American. That sounds cool, right? Because everyone wants dollars, its value goes up. That's called a strong dollar. A strong dollar means Americans can buy stuff from other countries cheap. If you want a car from Japan, you got a great deal. Want a vacation at the White Lotus in Thailand? Your dollar goes far. But if you flip it around, if you're Ford or a farmer in Iowa, your products now cost more in other countries. That's why Miran says the dollar is far above the level that would balance international trade. It hurts American producers. Now, here's the twist. This isn't some accident. We've been doing this on purpose since the 1940s to keep the dollar strong and in demand so we can stay in charge of the global financial system. But Trump's team is saying, maybe that deal isn't worth it anymore. So what do you do if they let the dollar fall? Well, you can buy US exporters. Think Boeing, Caterpillar, John Deere. If the dollar drops, their stuff gets cheaper overseas, and their sales are going to boom. You could also look at countries that borrow in dollars, like Brazil or Turkey. A weaker dollar makes it easier for them to repay debt, leaving them with more of their own money for other things like schools or hospitals. And then focus on trade partners. Say Canada. They buy tons of US corn and soybeans, and so a cheaper dollar makes these goods and the Canadian companies that buy these products a bargain. You want to avoid US import-heavy companies. Say GameStop wants to sell Nintendo games made in Japan. If the dollar falls, it costs GameStop more to buy these games, and that's going to eat into their profits. And then finally, be cautious with countries holding lots of dollars, like Saudi Arabia. A weaker dollar means their savings lose value in global terms. This is just episode 1. Next up, why being the reserve currency doesn't even save us money anymore. Stay tuned.